What's up and welcome guys, I'm Luke Martin with ChopstickTravel.com and today I am in Busan on the southern coast of South Korea. This is a beautiful coastal city and it is just packed with a ton of good food. This is our last episode from our Korean series and then we are back to Taiwan. So we're going on a huge street food tour today and I'm excited and hungry. Let's go eat. Okay, we are at our first spot today for breakfast and we have come to have a very popular dish here in Korea. This is sundubu jjigae and here it is. Okay, check this out. It is just boiling away like crazy and that smells incredible. So let's dig into this. So here is our sundubu jjigae, and basically what it is a Korean jjigae or red stew. So it's made with the gochujang Korean red pepper sauce, and then sundubu is the soft tofu kind. So they make this tofu by soaking it in a brine. The good places will do it actually with seawater, any kind of saltwater brine, and then it makes a super like silky smooth tofu and it just looks incredible. There's not much to it. Looks like we've got some pork pieces in there too, some greens, some onions, and it smells incredible. So of course we've also got our Korean side dishes. So over here we've got the kimchi, which is actually served with some scissors for cutting it up. So I'm gonna give these a little slice and that looks like some really good kimchi. It's like the whole cabbage, pickled cabbage, just the classic Korean dish. Then over here we've got some red spicy looking tofu, and then over here we have a really interesting looking soup. It's got a very clear, almost kind of just looks like water broth. Then I see some red peppers in there, some kind of bell pepper, red peppers, some carrot pieces, cucumbers, a ton of seaweed at the bottom there, cucumbers, onions, and that looks really interesting. So actually, I think that's probably for cooling property for this spicy sundubu jjigae. So let's dig into this meal. There's no real way of eating it. I like to put it on top of the rice, but I do know a lot of people like to put the rice directly in here, and I love how it's served in this earthenware pot, which is just sizzling hot. So first I'm just gonna try the broth here. It has an incredible thick orange consistency and that looks awesome. Let's try that out. Oh wow. That is such a creaminess to it, almost like a little bit cheesy. It is spicy. That's actually quite a spicy sundubu jjigae. And it's also a little bit like sour almost. Maybe it has a little bit of the fermented kimchi flavor going on in there. And then just check out that kind of curdled tofu. I'm gonna go in for a big bite and there's a little piece of pork in there, some greens. Oh yeah. Okay, this is a killer bowl of sundubu jjigae. It's a little bit salty, but it is just like blazing hot and spicy. Okay, I'm gonna grab a nice big piece of tofu here and put it over onto my rice. And this definitely needs to be eaten with rice. And this is just mouth-watering, guys. This is so spicy, so full of flavor. And let's make sure we get some rice there and try that bite. That looks good. That tofu is so silky smooth. That just completely disintegrates in your mouth. It almost has like a slippery texture to it. So whichever way you decide to eat your sundubu jjigae, it is sure to taste incredible. This is so flavorful, rich, deep gochujang kind of Korean flavors in there. So now let's try our banchan, our side dishes. So of course, start with a little piece of kimchi. And this looks like some good kimchi. Oh, that's not actually a little piece, but that's okay. So that kimchi is extremely crisp. It's actually a little bit salty. Let's try our other side dish here. This looks like some tofu skin that is sort of like braised in that gochujang kind of magical Korean red pepper sauce that is just on everything here, but it's just so good. I can't get enough of it. That's actually almost a little bit nutty. So there's definitely some sesame oil in there as well. And that tofu skin is firm. It's really good. So everything here is quite spicy, but this soup looks like a very clear kind of cooling broth And let's take a drink of that. It almost just looks like water. Oh, wow. Oh, it's like there's definitely vinegar in there. It's almost sour or acidic. Oh, that's phenomenal. Okay, let's take a bite with some of the seaweed and all of the components of this soup. Oh, with those onions in there, that's incredible. Oh, that's crisp. Cools your whole body. Kind of soothing soup. So sundubu jjigae is one of my favorite Korean dishes. I make sure that I eat a ton of it every time that I'm in Korea. But there's all kinds of different jjigaes you can get. You can get kimchi jjigae, but this is the soft tofu kind, and this place is really awesome. I find it's a little bit salty, but it's still really good. Just a comfort food. And I've only got about one bite left here, and I'm just gonna make sure I get all of that tofu. And let's try that. Oh man, just so rich, full of flavor. Okay, we're gonna keep going today. This was a small bowl, but that's okay because we're gonna be doing a lot of eating, so let's go. So we are at the Jagalchi fish market here in Busan, and this is the largest fish market here in South Korea. We are actually just outside and it's kind of spilling into the streets, and just check out all this fresh seafood behind me. So as we were exploring here, it actually just started to snow here in Busan. It's not too cold, but it's kind of beautiful, and this is just awesome. So much fresh seafood here. So we have been walking for about 15 minutes and we still haven't gone inside the actual market. We've just been outdoors, and there's so many seafood and fish products here. It's just ridiculous. I can't believe it. And we're right on the shore here. They're bringing in their fresh catches from the day. So you know the spot is good. We're gonna go find something we can eat. Okay, so we are sitting down for our first snack today at the Jagalchi fish market, and actually it's bigger than a snack. This is kind of like a small meal, and we're sitting down for extremely popular food here at the market. And although this isn't seafood, it is still very, very popular. And this is called Haejang-guk, which is hangover soup. So we're not hungover today, but apparently it's good any time of day, but it's just a very hearty soup, so it's very popular to eat when you're hungover. And then over here we have a pig skin that is spicy braised, and it's served to us in a sizzling plate, and this just smells awesome. We've got all our side dishes, and let's dig into this. Okay, so let's start with this Haejang-guk, the hangover soup, and let's mix it up. This is a miso based broth, and it's a beef bone or ox bone, so you can see there's some pieces of beef in there, and then there's a serving of some gochujang on top, the chili sauce, and there's a ton of onions in here, a ton of bean sprouts, and also, oh geez, I thought those were noodles underneath, but that's just a ton of bean sprouts, and then also some big massive pieces of coagulated ox blood. Check that out. There is some huge pieces there, and there is just a lot going on in this bowl. So give it a good mixing and try to get that red pepper sauce all mixed in, and let's just sample that broth first. Let's try it out here. Oh yeah. Ooh. Whoa. Oh wow, that's really nice. That's a like very rich ox flavor, and that's very strong, beefy, very, very meaty. It's a little bit salty too and spicy from that red pepper sauce. Oh, that's really nice. I can also taste quite a bit of garlic in there. So I can definitely see how this is a hangover cure. There is so much hearty vegetables. The whole stew itself is awesome. There's a ton of these bean sprouts, a lot of Napa cabbage, just so much going on in here, and I love how much black pepper she puts in it too. So let's grab another big chunk of these vegetables, put it over on my rice, and oh man, this is perfect comfort food here in Korea. And we are loving our time here at the Jagalchi fish market. Next up is this spicy pig's skin, which I have to admit actually looks very good. It feels very soft in my chopsticks and simple, just braised with some spicy sauce, and then there's some green onions on top here. And she's given it to us with lettuce to wrap, but I'm just going to try a piece by itself first. So let's try that spicy pig skin. Oh wow. Whoa, that is much more tender than I thought. It's a very kind of glutinous and very spicy. Can definitely taste some sesame oil in there as well. So let's grab a big piece of that pig skin, put that in there, and maybe I'll grab some of this bean paste over here. I think this is a fermented bean paste. So put a little bit of that on top of the pig skin, and that should be good. And then also there's a ton of raw chilies and onions and garlic. I'm probably gonna go in for one of those onions, put it in my wrap, and that is a nice little pocket of flavor. So we'll wrap that up. Okay, that's really good too. Actually, that bean paste is quite salty, so maybe I won't use a lot of that, but ridiculously smooth pig skin. I can't get over it. I just pictured it as being really tough and hard to chew, but it is not like that whatsoever. It's very like collagen rich and glutinous. And just check out this. She's got a massive plate of it boiling away here. Okay, I'm gonna go in for a piece of the coagulated blood here. I just checked that out. That is a massive piece, and it's already actually broken in half, so it's bigger than that. So I'll break off a little piece of that, try to get some of the bean sprouts, and we're gonna put that over here onto our rice and try that. A little bit of broth. Oh yeah. And actually, that is so meaty flavored. Let's try that. Oh, that's nice. Actually, the blood doesn't actually have much of a taste. It just tastes like the broth. And that's actually quite a bit spicy. Those bean sprouts are nice and crisp still. Looks like some leeks in there as well. Let's go for another bite. Oh, that's good. Okay, that Haejang-guk was so delicious, just full of flavor, but extremely hearty. We are stuffed after that, and although we are at a fish market, I don't know if we're gonna be able to eat anything else today, but even though that wasn't seafood, that was still great, and I definitely recommend if you're here at the Jagalchi fish market, try it out. There is just stalls lining the whole outside of the market, and it is just crazy in here. We're loving the atmosphere, and the food is just as good. So we're gonna keep going. We're gonna go to the Gamcheong Cultural Village, so let's go there now.
Gamcheong Cultural Village here in South Korea is gorgeous. It's been named the Machu Picchu, or the Santorini of the country, and all of the buildings are different pastel colors. It's awesome here.
We are at our final place today and we have come to have a very famous Busan specialty. That is the Haejang-guk, which is a pork shank rice soup. So we have ordered up our bowl and this just looks phenomenal. Served to us in an earthenware pot. So this is a broth that's made with mostly soy sauce and miso and then boiled down pork bones. And then on top you can see a ton of green onions. And then in here, oh, it looks like we've got a little bomb of gochujang red pepper, spicy red pepper sauce, so we'll mix that around. But we have a ton of pork shank, pork meat in here, and then also the rice. So as you can see, there's quite a bit of rice in there, and as I mentioned, this is an extremely famous dish here in Busan, and this looks awesome. The owners told us that we need to season it. So over here we have a shrimp brine, which he mentioned is extremely salty. So there's some baby shrimp in there, and then over here we have some chives that have quite a bit of chili flakes. It looks like maybe a little bit of gochujang pepper sauce on there, and this just looks awesome. So let's put these seasonings into our soup. So as you can see, this broth has almost like a milky consistency to it, and I'm just gonna try it first before I season it to get the full flavor. And let's try that. Oh yeah, oh wow. Oh, that definitely does need to be seasoned because there's absolutely no salt in there whatsoever, but that is extremely meaty and porky flavored. That's really good, but let's add some of the seasonings now. So let's add some of these baby shrimp brine, and I'm just gonna go in here with my spoon, grab some of these guys, and plop those right into my soup. And he mentioned that we'll add a little bit of saltiness, but he also said we should put some salt into it. So I will grab some salt and some pepper. Pepper first, this is black pepper. Give a hefty dose of black pepper. And then I'll grab this salt. Don't want to add too much. Try that. All right. And mix that around a little bit here. And also, I'm definitely going to be adding these spicy chives. Just check these out. These look awesome. There's a ton of them here, and they are coated in red pepper. So let's put those in. Maybe a little bit more. Oh yeah, that's gonna be good. So let's try that out now. Give it a little bit of a mix. And now I'm gonna try it with just some of those chives and some of that broth. All right, and I've also got a little bit of rice in this spoonful. Oh yeah. Oh, with that black pepper, that is really nice. Those chives are a little bit crisp and also a little bit spicy, and that definitely just raised the flavor profile of that broth. And let's try to get a big spoonful with some meat and everything. Oh yeah. Okay, let's try that. Oh yeah. Okay, that pork meat is ridiculously tender. That is awesome, and they did not go lightly. There is a ton of pork here. They are cooking up a ton of this gukbap, and out front they actually have a massive kind of small mountain of pork meat. Oh, this is just awesome. It's a very simple dish, but it's extremely hearty, flavorful. It's not too spicy. I might actually add a little bit more gochujang here. He mentioned that this gochujang over here is extremely spicy, so I won't put too much. We'll just grab a little bit, and we'll add that in and give it a good mixing. But he warned us with caution that that is a spicy red pepper sauce, but that's okay. I think it could use it. Oh yeah, that is spicy. Oh, that just punched me right in the back of the throat. So this gukbap is just incredible. It is really full of flavor after we've seasoned it, and I just can't get over the amount of pork that's in here, and these huge pieces too. And as you can see, I've added quite a bit of that gochujang, that really extra spicy red pepper sauce, and it is getting extremely fiery. So actually, I'm gonna go in now and grab a piece of pork here, and I'm gonna dip it over in this sauce, which is a vinegar soy garlic sauce, and it goes really nice. Let's try that. Oh yeah. That gives it just what it needs, a little bit of an acidic kind of zing to it. Oh, that's awesome. Okay guys, that's it for today's video from Busan, South Korea. This is such an incredible city. We had an amazing time exploring the city, especially the Jagalchi fish market, and there's just so much good food to be had here. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to leave it a big thumbs up. Leave any questions you have in the comment box and subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.